Hey guys, I am coming to you today from the humble abode that is my kitchen, because while I do a lot of what I eat in a day videos, I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a little bit more of like make a meal with me video. I would like to speak a lot more about nutrition on my page. It's something I'm very passionate about. I'm not someone that believes in a one-size-fits-all diet. I don't preach about veganism or paleo or any of that. I just love to promote flexible dieting, healthy eating, and you'll see that 80% of the time I eat wholesome, nourishing foods, which leaves 20% of the time for me to eat really delicious things like chocolate and cereal and ice cream. I'm going to be basically running through with you today my dinner that I'm preparing for tonight. It's currently nearly 6 o'clock, but I'm going to make it in advance so I can show you step by step. It's one of my favorite go-to meals. It's healthy, it's quick, it's easy, it ticks all the boxes in terms of carbs, fats, and proteins, and it's so simple but delicious. So when you're ready, let's go. So the things I'm going to be using first are chicken breasts. So I'm just going to use one of these chicken breasts, which is about 150 grams. I then am going to use a few mushrooms. I have a little bit of red pepper left over. It is just these sweet peppers from Tesco, so I'm going to use some of this, and then I have some aubergine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dice the chicken, which I will show you like the best way to cut chicken. Dice some of the mushrooms, aubergine and peppers, give it a mix, give it a season, give it a marinade. This tip has the potential to change your life, because I know when I started doing this, it certainly changed mine. When I cut chicken, I only ever use scissors. You may already do this, but if you don't and you use a knife and a chopping board, what are you doing with your life? This is, oh sorry, hair everywhere, that's so unhygienic. I'm just gonna use one of these breasts. Chicken breast, it's got a bit of fat on it, just trim off any excess fat. Sorry for all the vegans watching. When you get this, you can then just use the scissors to chop it into the size you need. So I'm just gonna do maybe like 1 to 2 inch pieces, not for any particular reason, just so it cooks nicely. And this is also going to be the size of the other ingredients. That's something important to put into account. Chicken is all chopped up. Now I'm just going to package away this chicken breast for another rainy day and wash my hands. Now that that's done, it is time to get the chopping board out, because I'm going to cut the vegetables. Again, I'm going to keep them roughly the same size as the chicken. However, I may cut up the aubergine a little bit smaller because it does take longer to cook than the other vegetables. We have our vegetables, so now just give them a nice little mix with the chicken so that you haven't just got like one layer of something, which will be good when you season it. Now, seasonings are hugely important to me. Literally, if you're eating quite a clean, wholesome diet, seasonings will be the difference between having a meal that's like, and having a meal that is just completely on point and so delicious. So I always make sure to have a lot of seasonings. As you can see, in an ideal world I would have a lot more than that. However, I am trying to budget, so I am just sticking to the essentials. As this is quite a Mediterranean themed dish, I am going to be using Italian seasoning, a little bit of smoked paprika, salt and pepper. I basically use pink Himalayan salt and ready ground black pepper, because every time I buy a pepper grinder, it takes me about 5 minutes just to get the amount of pepper I want. So that really annoys me. I'm going to use a little mix of these, and then I am also going to add in some balsamic vinegar and a pinch of stevia, which is kind of my secret when it comes to seasoning. I always find that adding a little bit of sweetness really does make that bit of a difference. So when it comes to amounts, I just use sort of like, I think we all know how much salt we like, so I use quite a decent amount of salt, because I mean, if you can get away with it, then go for it. I personally have low blood pressure, and so having quite salty foods really helps with that. I'm one of the lucky ones, but obviously if you have high blood pressure, you may not even want to use salt at all and just use the flavors of the herbs and spices. I then use a really generous amount of pepper because I absolutely love pepper, and about 1 to 2 teaspoons of Italian herbs. So it's just a dried Italian herbs mix. Do watch out with those if you are sensitive to things like garlic, because some Italian seasonings do contain garlic powder, and I'm really sensitive to that, so I do have to watch out, but this one's completely fine. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Smoked paprika is really different to normal paprika. So it has such a smoky smell, almost like bacon, whereas if you just get normal ground paprika, it won't have that smokiness that you really want. Personally, I love the smokiness. And you know what, I'm going to add a little bit of ground cumin because it'll complement that really nicely, like literally half a teaspoon. And then a pinch, and when I say a pinch, I mean a pinch. I'll use a knife of stevia, so I think you can see how much that is, which is just going to go over the top. Then this is 15 mils. Give that a nice stir. This is 15 mils of balsamic vinegar, and I don't think I'm going to use the whole thing. However, it could spill. So I'm going to use, so I used about 2/3. So I'd say that was about a tablespoon, a good tablespoon. You know what? That's not really covering it. I'm just going to use the whole thing because I don't really know what I'm going to do with the rest of this anyway. So yeah, 15 mils, which I think is a rough tablespoon. Put that over there, give it a stir, and now with this, as you can see, it's looking really nice. I'm going to let it sit in the fridge for about an hour and a half until I cook it in the oven. The best way I find to cook things like this is to oven cook them so it cooks evenly, it distributes, and because you've got that balsamic vinegar, if you cook it on a fry pan, it could actually burn, and then the outside's burnt, the inside's still raw, and it's just a whole palaver. Whereas if you chuck something in the oven, you can forget about it, or even like a slow cooker, but obviously I want dinner in like an hour or so, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm just going to whack this in the fridge, and then when I'm going to make the other components, I will get back to you. I thought I would just show you guys a little pre-dinner snack I'm making as well, because I'm actually about to go to the beach and read a little bit because the beach is literally on my doorstep. I just have a rice cake. I also ate one straight out the packet. I've put a very generous dollop of this Alpro Go On soya yogurt on the rice cake, which I've spoken about before, and then I put some cinnamon over the top because for some reason this mixed with cinnamon is really nice. Chopped up an apple. I've already eaten half the apple, and this is what it looks like. And it's going to be delicious. So cheers. Here's a nice snack I do for you. Would also be very good with peanut butter, but we all know I save my peanut butter until nighttime. So I'm just reading the comments that you guys left on my latest video that I uploaded like 2 hours ago, which is my mental health update, and I just want to say a big thank you from like literally the bottom of my heart, because it was not an easy video to film or post. I still get a little bit nervous speaking about my mental health online, but you guys are just the best. You guys make me feel so much better. So if you didn't already know, it is this video here. Side note, if anyone knows how to make more storage in a MacBook, please let me know because it keeps coming up with that. It is my mental health update video, and yeah, I'm feeling the love, guys. I am feeling the love. Back to the kitchen now. I just came back from the beach. I sat for a while, I read some of my book, I had a little bit of a walk because actually it was kind of cold, which I'm gonna open that window now. I don't know how to open these British windows. I'll show you. So basically, like in Australia we all have fly screens, so most places, sorry it goes really dark when I change the camera angle. I wonder if I press myself if I'll light up. Okay, I won't, just deal with dark me. So most places in Australia they have a fly screen, so what we do is we like do the little roundy thing and the window opens and we all good. In England, not the case. So I have to take this big thing off and I have to push this up, and then this doesn't stay up, so I get my Mr. Bump mug and I put it there, and alas, that's how I open my window. But before a bumblebee came in and I spent 10 minutes chasing it around my kitchen, so I shut it. But it's getting a little bit warm in here. Sorry, that was a bit of a side note. I have got the mixture that I made up before. Now, you don't have to let this sit for like an hour or so, and ordinarily if I was to make this during the week, I wouldn't be able to because I don't have the time. But I thought that while I had the time, it would be quite a nice thing to do. Oh, I just turned my cooker on. Healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated. It is so simple, and once you learn to love the type of food that will nourish your body, you can make meals off the cuff. I make this type of thing every single night. So I've preheated my oven to like 160 fan forced. On a normal oven, I feel like you should do about 180. However, for some reason, I reckon I filmed it the first time I used my oven, so I'm gonna try and find that footage because there was smoke everywhere. So I go a little bit below that for my specific oven. I don't have any baking paper. You should probably line a tray with baking paper, but I don't have any. So I'm just gonna spray this Frylight. I've spoken about this before, but basically I have the Frylight olive oil spray, which I use for just general cooking. And then I have the Frylight butter spray, which is really good on like bread and bagels. And what did I use it on the other night? I was cooking some sweet potato or something and I used some of this. It was so good. It's probably terrible for you. I mean, how can they make a 1-calorie spray that tastes like butter? But anyway, I'm just gonna give that a little spray. And it's weird as well because this stuff comes out a little bit white, just to ensure that it doesn't stick, although I don't think it will. Another thing that I do sometimes when I roast vegetables and roast chicken, I might do this actually, is I boil the kettle. So I'm going to boil the kettle now. I'm going to have to turn you off in a bit because it'll get really loud. And then I do like a 1 centimeter base of, here we go, of vegetable stock. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to chuck this in a pan and then pour it over, but you'll see me anyway. Be in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, so I'm going to set a time on my phone. But while that happens, I'm also going to have a shower, so the next time you see me when it's ready I'm going to look a little more rough and ready than this, but we keep it real here on my channel. That's what you guys love about me. That's what I love about me. So I will see you when I'm wearing pajamas and I probably have a tomato face. As predicted, I'm looking a little less on fleek, let's just put it that way. This hair is like a mop at the minute. Anyway, we all know, well, if you follow me on Instagram, then you guys know that I love my vegetables. So yes, I have quite a few vegetables in there already, but I'm also going to make a heap of veg for the side. Not only are vegetables so good for you, which we all know, they provide us with so many vitamins and so many minerals, they really bulk up a meal, and I love to eat a meal and feel really satisfied after eating it. So vegetables are the key to doing this. So obviously I have the mushrooms, I have the pepper, and I have the aubergine in the bake thing, but on the side I am also going to have some broccoli because I eat broccoli every single night. It's the love of my life. And I am going to have some kale, which needs using up, a carrot, and some beetroot that I bought. And then on the side of that, for my carbs, I'll be having some of this brown bread, which I just get from a local bakery. It's called Real Patisserie. If you're in Brighton, I get the chewy brown. It's so delicious. And I'm gonna have some avocado. So I'm gonna get to chopping up my vegetables and then cooking them. By the time that's all done, hopefully my chicken and everything will be cooked and we can put it all together. Smile and say I hope you're feeling. Okay, so everything is pretty much ready. The chicken is out the oven, the vegetables are draining. I have my bread, which, you know, only some of it survived the journey. Let's just put it that way. I did consume some while I was cooking, but that's alright. And I've got my avocado. So I'm gonna put all this together and then you'll see the finished product. And make believe it came from you. So good. I was gonna have some of this beetroot with it, but to be honest, I think this is kind of enough. I have everything. I'm so excited to eat this, and look how colorful and gorgeous it looks. And of course, I will be putting some condiments with it. Just you wait. Oh, do you like my pink pants, guys? This is the part where we amify the meal and make it a little bit weird. So, we get pepper, and we put a lot of pepper. And I'm also going to put a little bit of salt on the avocado because salt and avocado are best friends. And then we get cayenne pepper, which I love to put on everything. and we sprinkle that over. I'm gonna regret how much I just put on. Then you get ketchup. I think this one's running out, so I'm gonna take the lid off. FYI, if you really like Heinz, don't go for Tesco own brand, it's not the same. Well, okay, you know what, that was a lot of ketchup. That was a lot of ketchup. But I probably won't eat all that, and I wanna use that up anyway. Then I get Dijon mustard, another firm favorite. I don't know why I'm rushing so much. Amy, slow down, take a breath, it's gonna be okay. Alright, reckon I'm gonna use up the last of that. Chuck that next to the ketchup. Finishing touch is to then microwave it for 2 minutes because I like to eat my food searing hot, and I don't know why. I'm the same with my coffee, like really, really hot. So I'm literally gonna microwave it for 2 minutes before I eat it.